Good afternoon. Hey, Miss Latanya, how are you this afternoon? How are you? Good to see you on the live today. I'm running 1 or 2, 3 minutes late on today. You guys was trying to get my stream yard to load up and to work for me. But welcome to the Power Chat. To all the people that will watch the replay, come back later, watch the broadcast. Hello to you as well. Before I get started, let me just do a brief introduction. I always say this. Basically, this is the Power Chat. Welcome to the Power Chat. I'm Tamika Ford, and I come on every Saturday. Well, I try to come on every Saturday, and what I do is I share insights, wisdom nuggets. I share motivation, inspiration, empowerment. My goal is to empower, of course, Power Chat. Inspiration, motivation on various topics out of the books that I've written. Next Level Living, Growing on Purpose. These are some of the books that I have written. And what I do is I take concepts, I take principles, topics, chapters out of those books, ideas, and I expound on those concepts and principles on the Power Chat. And so that's what this all about. I'm here to help you to revive, to empower. Sometimes you just need to be spiritually revived. And this chat is usually for people that are journeying a path, a purpose path, a path that's about self development, personal growth, a path where you're trying to discover who you are, identity, a path of deepening your relationship with God, a path of maturity. Um, that's what this page is about. People that are trying to grow in their vision, in their purpose, in their goals, whatever they're trying to accomplish, whatever they aspire to do. And so hopefully I can just add fuel to your fire with these chats. That is my goal, to add fuel to the fire. And so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I like to start timely. The topic that I'll be talking about today, and I won't be before you long, the topic that I'll talk about, expound on today is, of course, something that's dear to my heart, a purpose driven life. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about a purpose driven life. And what is that? Basically, let me just start out by saying this: a purpose driven life is a life that's driven, a life that's guided, a life that's influenced, that's it led, that's driven or motivated by purpose, a life that's driven by a calling or a cause that's greater than yourself. It's driven by something higher. I'm talking about higher than money, higher than finances, higher than your comfort zone, higher than feelings, higher than people pleasing. It's something that's higher than materialism and possessions. We're talking about a purpose driven life. And so it's something that's motivated. It's a life that's motivated by something that's deeper. This is deeper than money, it's deeper than possessions, it's deeper than finances, it's deeper than my comfort zone, it's deeper than my emotions and my feelings. I'm talking about a life that's driven by a calling or a cause that's greater than yourself, that's higher than yourself. I'm talking about a purpose-driven life. And a purpose-driven life is a selfless life. It's not about you. It's about the cause that you've been called to. It's about the mission. It's about the assignment that has been given to you. It's about the people that you've been called to, the people that you've been called to serve. It's about a kingdom agenda. I'm talking about a purpose-driven life. I'm talking about a divine purpose. Not a purpose that you come up with on your own, not a purpose that you just create out of thin air. I'm talking about a divine purpose, a kingdom purpose, a prophetic purpose. I'm talking about that type of purpose. It's driven, it's motivated by something deeper. It's motivated by something that's higher than money and possession. This thing here is higher than your comfort zone. It's something that moves you beyond feelings and emotions. It's higher than people pleasing. It's higher than how you feel and what you're going through. It's something that's a little bit deeper than that. And anybody that know me, hey, Dr. Pfizer, anybody that know me know that one of my greatest convictions in life is that we all have a duty, we have an obligation, a responsibility, if you will, to discover who we are and to fulfill our God-given purpose. That is one of my greatest convictions in life, that we have a duty and obligation. It's your responsibility to discover your true identity, to discover who you are, to discover the reason for your existence. Why are you here? Besides just taking up space, why are you here? Have you ever asked yourself that? Because I remember when I was confronted with that question years ago, why are you here? Why do you get up every morning? What motivates you? What drives you? What influences you? What leads you? What drives you? What lights a fire under you? Why are you here? Why? Well, what is your charge in the earth? Because believe it or not, your life does serve a purpose. You are an answer, a solution to some type of problem, chaos, to some disorder that's in this world. You are a solution. We need what you have. We need you. We need what you carry. We need what God has placed on the inside of you that's so valuable. You've been endowed with certain gifts and talents and abilities that's in you, that's a part of you. You've been endowed with this. And we need you to release it into the earth realm. We need you to release it. We need what you carry. We need you. Why are you here? Because I'm not here just to take up space. We need what you carry. The word said that God has created everything for his own purposes. So if he created the dirt, the trees, the sky, the leaves, and the animals for a reason, I know he created me for a reason. The word says he created everything for a reason, everything for his own purposes. If God created it, it has purpose. God don't make something just to be making. He don't create something just to be created. He's an intentional God. He's a purpose for God. If he created it, if he designed it, you better know it has purpose. If he created it, it has purpose. So if we're going to live a purpose-driven life, that means we can't rise up, just get up every day, every morning, day after day, as if we were here by accident. I don't care what sister, brother, family members say. I don't care what mom, dad, whoever say. You're not an accident. You're not here by happenstance. You're not a mistake. So therefore, we can't rise up every morning as if we were here by accident, living life on autopilot, going through the motions, no aim, no focus, no target, just existing. That's not living. That's not living. God said, Jesus said, I came that you may have life and life more abundantly. That's not living. I refuse to get up, rise up every morning as if you were here by accident, going through the motions, living your life on autopilot. No aim, no focus, no target, just existing. That's not living. There's no fulfillment in that. There's no satisfaction in that. When you're just existing, you're aging but not growing. You're busy but you're not productive. That's not fulfillment. See, true fulfillment is found in when you're doing that thing that you were purposed to do, that you were born to do. You're growing into the person that God has created you to be. That's fulfillment. That's fulfillment. I know you've gotten up or experienced it sometime in your life, or maybe now. What is the reason for it all? There's got to be more to life than just this. There's got to be more to life. Have you ever asked yourself that it got to be more to life than just this? Fulfillment and satisfaction. And what I love about a God-given purpose is that you don't have to try to create one or come up with one on your own. It's already been established. It's already been established and decided. You don't have to try to create something. You don't have to try to come up with something on your own. Remember, the word says, God says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. That's identity. He said, before you were born, I set you apart, appointed you. That's purpose. That's destiny. And so you don't have to try to create one. You don't have the burden of trying to come up with a purpose or create one on your own. It's already been established. He said, I chose you before the foundation of the world. I created you to do good works before the foundation of the world. You don't have the burden of trying to come up with your own purpose. You've been endowed with certain gifts, talents, and abilities that's in you that came with you when you entered the earth realm. And you use those tools, gifts, talents, and abilities are just tools that you use to operate and to function in your purpose. But you have everything you knew. You entered the world with identity. You entered the earth with purpose. It's a part of who you are. You just got to get a revelation of it. You just have to discover it. You just have to get a revelation of it, but it's already in you. It's already in you. And to know God's divine purpose, there will come times where you're going to have to set aside and you're going to have to lay down your own opinions and your own ideals about who you think you are or who you think you should be or what you think you should do. There's going to come many times where you have to lay aside your own opinions, your own perceptions and ideas about who you think you are and who you think you or what you think you've been called to do. If it's not in alignment with the will, with the divine will, then guess what? Then we got to change course. We got to change course. So there comes a time when you got to set aside your own opinions, your own ideas of who you think you are and what it is that you're supposed to be doing, because your soul can be motivated by what it wants to do. Your soul can be motivated by what it wants to do. You better know that your soul has an agenda, and it has an agenda that may not be in alignment with what God has called you to do. Your soul may have an agenda that's not in alignment, that's not in agreement with what God has called you to do. So you have to make sure you check that. You may have to set aside some opinions, set aside some ideas. Hey, Cheryl, set aside some perceptions and perspectives that does not align with what it is that you've been called to do. So no, you may have to do that. And just because it's already been decided, just because God already spoke it before the foundation of the world, just because you came here with it in you, doesn't mean that it's automatic. It won't happen automatically. It won't happen without your participation. It won't happen without your cooperation. God won't do it without you. You got to be able to walk that thing out. You got to be able to live out that thing. It's not enough to just know it. It's not enough to just discover it. It's not enough to just get a revelation of it. Now you got to live it out. Now you got to walk that thing out, and you have to choose to do that because it's not automatic. And I think some people think it's automatic. Well, God knows my destiny. He'll make it happen. No, he will not. If you don't decide and choose and make decisions that line up with destiny, that line up with the vision that he's shown you, that line up with your divine purpose, if you don't make the decisions that aligns with that, then it will not happen. It will not happen. And this is something that I know. Your spirit, man, your spirit already knows who you are. And that's something I hope that you know. Your spirit already knows who you were called to be. Your spirit already knows what you've been purposed to do. The challenge is getting your natural mind to agree with your spirit mind. The challenge is getting your natural mind to agree with your spirit mind, because your spirit knows who you are. Your spirit knows what you've been called to do. Your spirit knows where God is taking you, but your natural mind has to come into agreement with your spirit mind. And that's the challenge of this walk. That's the challenge of walking in a divine purpose, is getting your natural mind renewed to what your spirit already knows, because your spirit knows all about you. Your spirit wants to navigate you through this life and navigate you through the will, the purpose, and the calling that God has assigned and ordained to you. But getting my natural mind to come into agreement with that, getting my natural mind to become in alignment with that, that is the challenge. Your mind has to be renewed to what your spirit already knows. You got to get a revelation of it. You got to get a revelation of it. Remember in the word where he says, no mind has imagined, no ear has heard, no eyes has seen what God has prepared for those that love him. Remember he said that in the word, Paul said that in the word. He said, but it's revealed to them by his spirit. I don't know what it is. It's revealed to them by his spirit. The things that we think that are mysteries to our life, the hidden things about our life, are revealed to us by his spirit. And if you're in the kingdom, you got the spirit of God. So your spirit and the spirit of God has become one. And it's communicating to your spirit. You get the revelation, you get the information by your spirit. He said it's revealed to them by their spirit. The spirit knows all things. It searches all things, the deep things of God. The spirit of God has the mind of God, and the mind of God is where your future is. The mind of God is where your destiny. The mind of God is your identity. And you have the mind of God on the inside of you because you got the spirit of God on the inside of you. That's why I always tell you, identity is in you, purpose is in you. It was in you when you entered the world. It was in you when you entered the earth realm. It's just getting the spirit of God in you to relate it to your spirit. And once you become born again, now they're one. And so that you can get the revelation. But your spirit knows, but the challenge is getting my mind to line up, to be transformed, to be renewed to what my spirit already knows. My spirit, my mind has to be renewed. That's the only way I can be transformed. That's the only way I can live it out. That's the only way I can walk it out. That's why the word of God says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because see, your mind wants to believe what it sees. Your mind wants to believe the drama and the chaos that you see. Your mind wants to believe your feelings and your emotions and the disorder. It'll never happen. And there's no more to me and I can't do nothing. I'm not here for nothing. Your mind wants to believe all of that. But when your mind is renewed, when your mind gets a revelation of what your spirit already knows, then now you can live in that thing. You can walk out that thing because your mind has been renewed. Your mind has to be transformed before your life can be transformed. That's why when you're reading the word of God, the Bible says you're reading spirit. These words that I speak to you, they are spirit and they are life. So when you're reading that word, when you're reading that truth, the word is just a reflection of who you are in the spirit. That word is just a reflection. It's a mirror of who you are in the spirit. Renew your mind to who you are. What you renewing your mind to? You renewing your mind to the truth about who you are. Renewing your mind to the truth about who you've been called to be. Get your natural mind to come into agreement with your spirit mind. Get your natural mind to come into alignment with your spirit mind, and watch how you begin to live out that thing. Watch how you begin to walk out that thing. Because it's already in you. And I say that all the time. It's in you. What you've been called to do is in you. What you've been purposed to do is in you. You don't have to look outside yourself to find yourself. What you looking outside yourself for? You don't have to look outside yourself to find yourself. You know why you're looking outside yourself? Because you hadn't renewed your mind to what your spirit already knows. You haven't brought your mind into agreement with your spirit mind. Your natural mind needs to come into agreement with your spirit mind. And so until you do that, you're going to be looking outside of yourself. You're going to be looking at externals. You're going to be be looking at to everybody else or looking for something out there to define who you are, to give you purpose, to give you reason to exist when it's already in you. And I'm going to say that to the day I die. It's in you. It's in you. You just have to bring it forth. You just have to manifest that thing. You have to grow into it. You have to bring it forth. You have to work it out. Work out your own salvation. Work out identity. I need you to work out purpose because it's already in you. Stop looking outside yourself to find yourself. Your spirit is screaming at you. I know you. I know what you've been called to do. I know who you are. I know what God has planned for you, the promises of God, the destiny of God, the kingdom purpose, the divine purpose. Your spirit is screaming at you. I know the answers. I want to navigate you through this life, but you won't listen to me. You won't renew your mind to what I'm trying to tell you. You won't bring your mind into subjection to what the spirit already knows. It's in you. It's locked up in you. You came to the earth with it, and nobody else has the key to your identity and your purpose. You may have people that do life with you, that's part of your divine destiny, but nobody has the key to who you are. It's in you. You have the key to unlock who you are. And if you don't unlock who you are, somebody else will unlock it for you. And I promise you, it won't be an authentic identity. It will not be authentic. That's why it's important that you reach inside. That's why you have to live from the inside out. You have to live from the inside out. When I tell you it's in you, but sometimes we're not quiet enough or still enough to really hear what our spirit is saying. Or sometimes we just don't want to follow, just be honest. Remember I said earlier, sometimes you got to lay aside your own opinions. You got to lay aside and lay down your own ideas of what you think you should be, or where you think you should be, or what you think you should be doing. That's part of the sacrifice. Sometimes you're going to have to lay that stuff aside. You're going to have to lay those thoughts aside. You're going to lay those opinions aside if it's not in alignment with the divine will, with the divine purpose. But it's already in you. God is locked up in you. You have the key to unlock it. But you got to renew your mind. It'll never manifest. You'll never manifest that thing in the earth realm until you renew your mind to it. Your mind is trying to catch up with your spirit. Your mind has got to catch up with your anointing. Your mind got to catch up with it. The anointing is there. The spirit knows who you are. It's in you. But have your mind been renewed to that? Have you shifted your mind to that so that you can live and walk that thing out? Because remember, your life follows your mind. Your life follows your mind. So if my mind has been renewed, if my mind has been transformed to who I am, if my mind has come into agreement with my spirit mind, if my natural mind has came into agreement with my spirit mind, and it understands, it gets a revelation of who I am and what I've been called to do, you better know that my life is about to follow suit. My life is about to follow suit because your life follows your mind. Your life follows your mind. You'll never live beyond your level of thinking. Your life is a reflection of your mindset, your thinking patterns. And I say that all the time. The Bible confirms it. As a man thinketh in his mind, so is he. The word heart is mind. As a man thinketh in his heart, as a man thinketh in his mind, so is he. If you become it in your mind, you can become it in life. If you can see it in your mind, you can manifest it in your life. You can create that thing. You can build that thing. But your mind, the natural mind, got to be renewed. It has to align with your spirit mind. And your spirit already knows you. Your life follows your mind. You were created for more. That's what I'm here to tell you. You were created for more. You're not everything that you're going to be right now. You're not everything that you were created to be. You were created for more. There's more to you. There's more for you. You just have to discover it. You were born for such a time as this. No, you're not here by happenstance. You're not here by mistake. There is divine destiny and purpose on your life. You're not here by happenstance. And you're not everything that you were created to be. There's levels and dimensions and layers to who you are. There are many layers to your identity. There are many levels to who you are. There are many dimensions. You deeper than that. There's more to you. You deeper than that. There's more to you than that. You got to believe that. So no, you're not everything that you were created to be. And you'll never be until you leave this world. You'll never be until you leave this world. You're not here by mistake. You're not here by happenstance. You're here for purpose. You're here for purpose. The word says we were created in Christ to do good works, which was prepared beforehand, before the foundation of the world, that we may walk in. That's what the word says. So this thing was prepared beforehand. This thing was already prepared before I got here. This thing was prepared beforehand so that we can walk in it. That's what the word says, that you may walk in it. So this thing has already been prepared. This thing has already been in motion. I knew you before I formed you, identity. I set you apart. I appointed you, purpose, destiny. This thing has already been prepared. So what is this good work that you've been created to do? I'm not talking about a general purpose. I'm talking about a specific purpose that's tailored for you. We know the general purpose. I don't need to go into that. But what is this good work? He said you were created to do good works. What is this work? What is this assignment? What is this duty? What is this task? What is this mission that you've been created to do before the foundation of the world? He said, I chose you before the foundation of the world. What is this mission? What is your charge? What is your charge? What is the mission that he's created you to do before the foundation of the world? Have you discovered that? Do you have a revelation of that? Do you have a revelation of that? Because the only way you can be able to walk in it and live that thing out is you got to get a revelation. You got to get a revelation of. You got to get that thing deep down in you. Again, getting your natural mind to come into agreement with your spirit mind. I'll never stop saying that, because that's true. So what work were you created to do? What mission were you created to fulfill? What is your charge? We all have a charge. We're all on assignment. Every day we get up, we're on assignment. I hope you are. Every day you get up, you should think, I'm on a mission. I'm on assignment. What would I do this day? Because I refuse to get up every morning as if I were here by accident, living your life on autopilot, just going through the motions. No aim, no focus, no target. No. That's just existing. I said that earlier. That's just existing. We're talking about living. We're not talking about aging but not growing, busy but not productive. We're talking about living. So I refuse to rise up every morning as if I were here by accident. What is your mission? Because you have a mission that's part of a greater mission. We have a purpose that's part of a greater purpose. What is your mission? When you get up, are you on assignment? Are you intentional when you get up? Are you purposeful when you get up? What is your mission? Well, what is your mission? Because we're here to make contributions. Are you making your contribution to the next generation and to this generation? Are you doing your part? Because we all need you. I told you we need what you carry. We need you, mister. We need you, Miss Lady. We need you. Hey, Sister Woodrow, Evangelist Woodrow. Yes, we need you. We need what you carry. We need what God has placed on the inside of you. We need what he's endowed you with, the gifts, the talents, and abilities that he's endowed you with. The earth, the work, we need it. The earth needs you. Are you making your contributions? And I'm not fussing. I'm just saying. The earth needs you. Your contributions our contributions are small pieces to a larger puzzle. Small pieces to a larger puzzle. Are you doing your part? Are you making your contribution not just to the next generation, but to this generation? If we don't do it, who we? If we don't impart to the next generation, who we? If we don't give to this generation, pour into this generation, who we? Because the truth of the matter is, when you operate in purpose, when you operate in destiny, when you're reaching higher, when you're walking in divine standards and by divine principles and disciplines, let me tell you, your children and your children's children and your family and your loved ones and your nieces and nephews has a greater chance of walking out their purpose. They have a greater chance in living by divine principles and divine disciplines and standards. When they see you do it, they believe I can do it. If mama can do it, I can do it. If auntie is doing it, I can do it. If daddy is doing it, I can do it. If cousin and sisters and brothers are doing it, I can do it. The truth of the matter is, when they see you do it, they believe they can do it too. So when you operating on a higher level, when you're functioning on a higher level, when you're aiming for a higher dimension, when you're living according to divine standards and divine discipline, let me tell you something. The people that are attached to you and connected to you and your children's children and children's children will be able to do the same. Why? Because they're watching you and they see that it's being done. There's nothing like having a pattern in your world, in your life, in your family. They saying if they can do it, I can do it. When they see you do it, they believe they can do it. They believe it's possible. You are a model for somebody. They are watching you. They are observing you. They are being influenced by you. What kind of contribution are you making? What's the influence? Because I remember I used to hear people say, don't do as I say. Y'all heard this before. Don't do as I say, but do as I do. Don't do as I say. Do as I say, but don't do as I do. I've heard that. That's how it goes. Do what I say, but don't do as I do. What kind of foolishness is that? How did that even become a saying? Do as I say, but not as I do. I say examine my actions. Don't worry about what I say. Do as I do. Examine my actions. Don't just do what I say, but do what I do. Watch what I do. That's how you influence, because you got to become the life that you're speaking. Do as I say. Okay, that's fine. Are you becoming the life that you're teaching? Are you becoming the life that you're speaking, that you're telling your family, your friends, your children, your loved ones, strangers? Are you becoming that very life that you're speaking? Because this is the revelation I got. How can I impart something into you that's not even a part of me? Come on. How can I impart something into you? Jesus, my God. How can I impart to you that's not even a part of me? That's the only way you can make an impartation. If you're talking about making an impartation into people, making an impartation to the next generation and to the people attached to you, around you, it has to be a part of you. I can't impart something into you that's not even a part of me. Because when I start trying to impart it to you and it's not a part of me, now I'm just giving you knowledge and information with no power. No power. No power. No power. So whatever I impart to you has to be a part of me for that thing to penetrate, for that thing to take effect. It has to be a part of me because there's power attached to it when it's a part of me. And now I can impart that thing into you. Glory. Hey, Sister Anderson. That's powerful. That's powerful. So it's not do as I say and not as I do. Examine my actions. They're watching you. They're observing you. They're being influenced by you. People don't really care about what you say. They're watching what you do. Your life is communicating all the time. Your life is communicating all the time. People don't care about what you say. They listening, but is it a part of their life? Have they become it? Because I can't speak to you what I have not become myself. Otherwise, I'm just giving you information. And again, no power. A form of godliness and no power. And I don't know about you, but I'm trying to walk in power. I'm trying to help change lives. We're trying to break generational curses. We're trying to impart. So for me to impart, it's got to be a part of me. That's how you make a change. Your life is speaking. Your life is communicating. What is it saying? When I watch your life and I observe your life, without you saying a word, what is it speaking? Your life is speaking. Your life is here to speak a message. Our life is here to be. That's why the word says we're like living epistles, written. We're like living epistles, like walking letters, read by men. They're reading us. Yeah, they say that, but let me watch. What is your life speaking? If I watch your life, because your life is speaking all the time, what is it saying? What is it saying? You are a walking message. You might not think those coworkers are paying attention. You may not think your friends are paying attention. You may not think the strangers are paying attention. You may not think even the church members may be paying attention. You don't think your family, sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews, they watching. They watching. And as they watching, they're forming a message in their mind. There's a message that's being sent. There's a message that's being sent. What is your life speaking? You're a walking message. People are reading you every day. And I want to know what your life says. What do I receive when I read your life? Because I can look at some people's life, and I can receive something. You can receive something just by watching their life. You're like, oh, you get a revelation of something just by watching them. Their life is speaking. Their life is a message. Just like I'm speaking a message, my life is a message. And some people can look at your life, look at my life, and receive a word without you even opening your mouth, speaking a word. What is your life? If you don't get nothing else, your life is speaking a message. Is it a divine message? Is your life a purpose-driven life? Because that's the topic we're on. Is it a purpose-driven life? When they see your life, do they see purpose or do they see he just exists? He just exists. Is it a purpose-driven life? Do they see that you're on a mission? Do they feel like they may not have the words to say it, but there's an assignment? That you're not here just to exist, that there's purpose to your life. Everything you do, there's a purpose to it. I don't say something just to be saying. I'm not just doing stuff just to be doing. Yeah, we have our fun time, and that's even purpose. I purpose time out to have fun, to take a vacation. That's even purpose. Your life is purposed, and people can see that, and they can receive that. I receive a message from your life. Make sure your life reflects truth. Make sure your life reflects a purpose-driven life, because you may be the only truth that somebody reads. You may be the only truth they know. They may not go to a church. They may not even know God. They may not trying to know God. They may not even trying to go into a church. They may not even want to fellowship with the believer. But you, because you chose to be on assignment that day, because you chose to be on assignment that day, and you just not existing, your very presence, your very life speaks or spoke a message to that person that didn't want to know God, don't want to have nothing to do with God, don't want nothing to have to do with God's people, but you didn't say nothing. They just watched your life, and your life spoke a message, and you witnessed without even witnessing. You witness without even witnessing, because really you witness with your life. We can have fancy words and clever words, again, no power. You witness with your life. So they're reading your life. Get a revelation of what you've been called to do. Get a revelation what God has purposed you to do. And wake up on a mission. Wake up on purpose. Okay, there's a purpose to this day. Even if it's I'm doing something, having relaxing for 5 hours, and maybe something 2 hours was purposeful, whatever. But you always mission minded. You know that, okay, there's an assignment. I'm not just here by happenstance. I'm part of a greater puzzle. I got to make a contribution. Something is needed in me. There's something God has deposited in me that needs to be released into the world. They need what I carry. They need what God has deposited into me. That's the mindset I want you to have. That's the mindset I want you to have. And I'm going to speak this truth right here to the day I die. Renew your mind to what your spirit already knows. Renew your natural mind to what your spirit mind already. Your spirit mind knows your future. Your spirit mind knows your destiny. Your spirit mind knows who you've been created to be. Your mind got to catch up to it. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transform mind, transform life. I bet you begin to walk in it and live that thing out. So I'm out of time. I said I wasn't going to be on here long. So let me pray for you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this message blessed you. If it blessed you, share it with somebody. I believe it blessed you because it blessed me. I love you. I thank you for being on the live today. Father God, I thank you for every life that's here. Lord, I thank you that you got divine purpose. You got kingdom purpose for their lives. You got purpose for their children, children, for everybody that's connected and attached to them, Father. And I just speak right now that they will come into the knowledge of that they will get a revelation of who they are. They're not going to look outside themselves to find themselves. They will get a revelation of who they are and what they've been created and called to do. God, I pray that they get that revelation and that they wake up every morning intentional, purpose driven, motivated by something higher than themselves, that they get up every morning motivated by something higher than money, higher than finances, higher than people pleasing, higher than feelings and emotions. But I'm talking about driven by something that's deeper, that's something that's higher. I'm talking about driven by purpose. That's my prayer for your people today. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May his peace be upon your life. And may he be with you. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh,